Hey, so what are some coaching techniques that you can steal and use yourself? Part 4. So in previous videos, we've talked about the art of listening, making observations and asking questions. And today I want to talk about the use of metaphor and analogy. Because sometimes in a coach-like conversation, it can feel very logical and rational. All the questions are things like, well, what do you think about that? Or what are you going to do next? Or what's getting in the way for you? Whereas if you're to throw in a metaphor or an analogy, it feels like it taps into a completely different part of the brain and allows them to visualize their situation in a very different way. So that could be something like, oh wow, I'm imagining you sort of really like you're swimming upstream here. This feels very difficult. Or it sounds like you're walking across a stony field that's very muddy and it's very slow going. Or it feels like you've reached a chasm and you don't know how to get across. That's what I'm imagining for you. And in that moment, if the person you're chatting to wants to run with that metaphor or analogy, it can be really fun and they can start to explore their situation in that image. I remember for me personally, a coach once said to me, it feels like I can imagine you walking uphill, a very steep hill here. And it allowed me to play with it. And I said, well, it's not just that I'm walking uphill, I'm carrying these huge heavy dumbbells with me and I'm wearing a massive backpack and it's really slow going. And it was a lot of fun and it allowed me to realize by the end of the conversation, I can put these dumbbells down, I can put the backpack down, I don't need to carrying so much weight and putting so much pressure on myself on my journey, but it was as a result of the image and playing with that I was able to get to that realization. So a challenge for you in your next conversation, if you're adopting a coach-like style, try throwing out an analogy or a metaphor. It might not land, the person you're chatting to might not want to play with it whatsoever. That's fine, at least you tried. And if it does land, it could be a very, very different conversation. So I hope this has been helpful and I'll chat to you soon.